What's going on, movie fans? My name is Michael Weer, and I like to talk about movies. In today's video, we are going to rank 6 movies that released in May of 2023. These are the 6 movies that I had a chance to watch in theaters. These are the 6 movies that I had a chance to review after watching them in theaters. So today you're going to get quick thoughts. I'm going to rank them from worst to best, but if you want to see my full thoughts, my full reviews for all of these movies, all of that is in my 2023 playlist. I invite you to check those out and check out the other reviews I've done so far this year. With all that said, let's rank May of 2023 from worst to best. At number 6, guys, we get Hypnotic.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Hypnotic is directed by Robert Rodriguez and it stars Ben Affleck, and I went into this movie with low expectations because the previews for this movie were terrible. So going into this movie, I didn't know what to think, and my expectations weren't low enough because this is the top of the garbage pile for the year so far. Well, it's right there with Skinamarink and Children of the Corn. It's pretty bad, though. Hypnotic had too many plot lines, it had too many side characters, it had way too many twist endings, which really started to annoy me. Like, I left this movie annoyed that I went and saw it. Like, I was like, I could have done something different with my time. I can't believe that I sat through this movie and just plot twist after plot twist where they didn't really know how to write the ending, or at least that's how it feels, and they threw all these twist endings at you that just didn't work. I think this movie would have worked better as a miniseries. That's just my personal opinion, and that's why it's at number 6. At number 5, guys, we had Kandahar. Kandahar is just a boring snore fest of a movie. That's why it's number 5. Like, it's a little bit better of a plot than Hypnotic, but not by much, and it's just extremely boring, which is disappointing because Gerard Butler is a great action star, and you've got a movie where a CIA operative played by Gerard Butler is stuck in the Middle East and has to get out, and you're like, all right, he's going to tear some shit up, this is going to be awesome, but instead you don't get that. Instead you get Gerard Butler just sort of kind of making it to a plane, and it's just boring. At number 4 is a live-action remake of the Disney original, and that, of course, is The Little Mermaid. This is a movie that was just fine. I didn't have too many negative things to say about it in my review. In fact, in my review, I forgot to mention Awkwafina, who I actually really enjoyed in this movie. Her voice worked so well for that bird. So I just want to throw that out there. But overall, this was just retread ground of the animated movie, and I didn't feel like they did anything new with it, and my kids got kind of bored while watching the movie, which they've never gotten bored while watching the animated movie, so that's a detriment to this movie too, because it's like, well, in the future, I'm just going to put on the animated movie for them. I'm not going to turn this movie on because they're just going to get bored throughout. So I don't really know who this movie was made for, because the plot in this movie dragged the movie on a little too long for the adults, and the plot in this movie also dragged on a little too long for the kids. Overall, if you want to watch The Little Mermaid, I'd recommend the original. This was fine, but a one watch. At number 3,
family, 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 family.
That's right, it's Fast X, the 10th movie in the Fast and Furious franchise. This is another movie that's just fine. I've watched it once, I probably won't watch it again. And honestly, unless it's on super sale, I won't even be buying this on Blu-ray. I've just kind of been over the Fast and Furious franchise lately. I got excited for this movie. I was like, maybe they'll do something different. And no, it's the same beats of 8 and 9, where every villain is now family. And all the villains that are in this movie, you don't really fear them because eventually they're just going to be family. Or they're not really going to die because no one can stay dead in these movies. I don't know. It's just all over the place, as is my thoughts of this movie. It just is what it is. Listen, Fast X is number 3 because I guess it was new ground. That's why it was better than Little Mermaid, but not by much. At number 2 is a comedy that I wanted to like more than I did. This movie was trying to toe the line of like safe comedy versus let's push the limits of comedy, and that was too bad because I feel like if they had pushed the limits for this movie, it would have been a lot better. And it's About My Father. About My Father is a movie starring Robert De Niro as the father of the movie, and listen, Robert De Niro is one of the greatest actors of all time, and so him in a movie, a comedy about Italians, like I'm an Italian, I was like, this movie's gonna be great. And I did laugh throughout most of this movie, but after thinking about it for a couple days, I don't know, it was fine. I probably won't rewatch it. That's how May has been. It was really bad, and then a couple movies that were just fine, and then finally my number 1 of May of 2023, if you haven't guessed it already, it's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I don't know how I only watched this once because I absolutely loved it and I didn't get time to go back to the theater and watch it. I will be picking this up on 4K Steelbook as soon as it drops because this movie was beautiful. I love the heart in this movie. I love the laughs in this movie. Every actor that has been throughout this Guardians of the Galaxy franchise just brought it to this movie and I really loved it. I actually really loved the ending of Gamora and Star-Lord, which is something I didn't like when I did my review. After thinking about it and talking with some friends about this movie, I actually thought, hey, you know what? I like what they did in this movie. I like that they basically said not everything can be like a happy ending between Star-Lord and Gamora. And that was kind of refreshing for a Marvel movie. Overall, I'm going to miss James Gunn in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but number one for May of 2023 was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And that's my ranking for May of 2023, guys. If you enjoyed this ranking, don't forget to hit the like button. It helps the video and it helps the channel, and I really appreciate seeing it. And finally, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you do that because I have a ton of content on here. You can check out all of the previous months that I have ranked so far this year, or you can check out my movie reviews. Remember, I've got a review for every single one of these movies. You can check those reviews out right there.